Well, hello, gang. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. You know what? I feel energized today. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate the fact that you sent me that message, wondering what the heck is going on here. Haven't seen that many videos. Well,
blame this guy.
Part of that is, and that's true, Michael Anthony Fitness basically taking over the Joe Boo Sports Report Man Cave studios.
But y'all were out.
Yeah. So I didn't want to disturb his flow up in there. And just kind of catching my breath. I had to do a whole lot of driving yesterday. I drove about 300 miles. So it took a while. And yes, I am taking some time getting to the topic. It's funny because my style is my style, and we all know I have no style. I'm old. I've got a cell phone, and I can take videos. But somebody told me to try and do something different because some of you trolls out there have been getting a little bit crazier than usual. So I'm going to try and be a no respond to troll free zone here for the next couple of weeks. I'm just going to try and ignore their asses and just let them just look the way they look, which is just kind of stupid. But be that as it may, what I wanted to talk about is the Dallas Cowboys. What else? I had Vosh on. Vosh is my homeboy. On my live stream on Friday night. And we were talking about needs for the Dallas Cowboys. And which way to draft. Now here's what's interesting. Because see, for me, whatever position you played football in is the position that you look at and say is the most important one that we need to work on. See, for me, I played nose tackle. Nose guard back in my day. Now it's nose tackle. They didn't even call it the same thing. But I believe when you control the middle of the field, shout out to John, DMV Dallas Cowboys, when you control the middle of the field, you control the field. And I believe you need a guy who can go through there and control the middle, literally be that immovable force and things. Now, I understand the Dallas Cowboys' philosophy is they would like to have guys that have speed, guys that can get upfield and things, because they do more stunting to get their sacks than anybody else. It's true. They are truly a stunting defense. But I still like to have that big guy in the middle who, if he can get a push, it makes it so much easier for the guys on the outside. But again, I played nose, so that's where it's important to me. For Bosch, he played offensive line. So for him, it's offensive lineman. He feels offensive line is where you got to go. But my thing is this. Now, we're not the Great Wall of Dallas 2 that we were in 2016 or 2014. Last year was a mismatch of offensive line. That was the worst our offensive line has been in a while. I mean, that includes even with Chaz Green situation. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, he should go to Alliance American Football.
But our offensive line was good enough that we could play, and you had Zeke Elliott for all 16 games, which covered up for a lot of it, and the fact that we started getting Amari Cooper. Those things helped. They helped. But our offensive line still was not as good as it should be. So Vosh is saying, draft another offensive lineman. But how do you feel about that?
Our problem was with the offensive line was coaching.
Well, that was some of it. And you didn't have playmakers that made the difference. Everything is relative.
I think I really catch up bottle. I don't remember his name, but our offensive line got better. Just getting rid of him.
I wonder if he was getting paid from Hines. Catch it. If he was getting like a kickback from them.
I mean, he might be related to the people that do Hines catch up.
For that to be your claim of fame, it's kind of weak. But I don't think offensive line is where you need to go with that first pick. Because here's my thing. We're hearing Travis Frederick, there's supposed to be an interview with him. He says right now he's like 95% there. Understand, if you get that guy alone back, that you're bringing in an all-pro center. And see, what he was able to do with the guards next to him, because he's that good, is cover up for a lot of deficits. So if you get that, I mean, not too many offensive linemen. I mean, you could go out and try and sign an all-pro, offensive lineman, which is going to cost you a bunch of money. You could try and go out and draft. We have one that's coming back that's not costing us a dime more than what it did last year. That alone will make that offensive line better. Zach Martin, he played on a bad wheel the whole season. You remember he hurt his knee in training camp and didn't really work out in training camp. Came and started the first game, but he was nicked up the whole season. If that guy comes back healthy, all of a sudden your offensive line is a whole lot better, because now you got him on two good legs as opposed to only one. Those issues right there really turn your offensive line around. Now, Connor Williams, I still think that maybe he should go back to being a tackle. Fatten him up a little bit, that off-season workouts and things, and put him at tackle. And I still believe Lyle Collins is a better guard than tackle. To me, he was like a road grader. To me, he moved better in space instead of having to go ahead and take on the pass rushers. And make no mistake about it, guard and tackle are two totally different positions. Two totally different positions. Guard is really more aggressive and more pulling and being downfield and blocking and stuff. Tackle is more defensive, where you're worried about that guy doing speed rush inside or end up doing that speed rush pass on the outside. So it's more of a defensive, upright position. And I think personally that he's better going downfield with a head of steam and making moves on linebackers, defensive backs and safeties and things, and lead blocking. But that's just me. I mean, I'm just a guy with a day job at a voodoo doll and sitting here building cabinets. But those things right there, to me, make it better. And I know it's still a step down. And this is an argument that me and Bosch had. Cam Fleming is not like an all-pro tackle or anything, but he got valuable time with Tyron Smith being out. And to me, is a capable backup in your system that if you lose a guy, you got him, right?
Same thing with Looney.
And Joe Looney, I'd almost consider, here's the other thing. To me, there's a couple things you can do. Well, you've got now at least a center. You got a backup center. Focus. Focus! Focus! Ah! Okay, there it goes. I was going to say, I've got to get up, which is not an easy thing when you got bad knees.
I try to focus on me and
you got Cam Fleming, that if Tyron Smith, who does seem to miss a couple of games every year, goes out, you're not dropping to the Chaz Green level. You know what I'm saying? That he's capable. And even Xavier Salafalo, he's a bigger guy than Connor Williams. He played good in some starts, not as good as other ones, but you're talking about at least backups that now have experience. And that's part of the problem with the NFL is you can have great frontline players, but you don't have money to pay to have good backups. And when you lose one of those guys, you're screwed. So to me, everything hinges on Travis. If Travis is back, you're going back to being one of the best football offensive lines in football. And now, it's not an urgency to draft an offensive lineman early in the draft, in which case you can concentrate on other needs and maybe even focus on the best player available. And I think, honestly, that's kind of where the Cowboys will be in this draft. Going that late in the second round, you're not looking at a guy, generally speaking, you're not looking at an impact player almost as a third round player, because that's how far back we're drafting in the second round. You're looking for a competent starter, and it may be that you see a guy that you say, well, it's not a position we really need, but it's a position that we can get an upgrade for, and look at it from that standpoint. So that's where we are with it right now. Hopefully, no setbacks for Travis Frederick. We'll definitely be talking about this tonight on our live stream at 9 o'clock. And for you, Rob, I'll try and get a few more videos in because I know you miss it. How about you, Mike? You got anything going today?
No, not today. I will this week.
Next game's not until Saturday, right? No Thursday night?
Saturday and Sunday.
And where's the last one? Okay. Help. I'm always laying down on the job in case you guys didn't notice it.
Oh, you didn't notice it.
Give me one more screw. Thank you. I guess it would be good if I turned the heat back on, wouldn't it? All right. Now all's left to do is make the drawers. I'm Mark Holmes. I'll see you guys tonight during our live stream.